First of all, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm told you're busy, and you certainly look busy, Terry.
I'm a little busy. I'm between cases, but that's okay. I just did one. And while the patient's under anesthesia, I'll take as long as I want. No, I'm kidding.
Let's not start that rumor.
I'm just literally after finishing watching the first episode of this new show, Celebrity Call Center. And I have to say, I'm really, really impressed. I thought it was excellent. It was hilarious. Can you tell me a bit about the format, just for the people who don't know about it?
Sure. Well, we got called to be on this show, so we started researching it, and we found out it was a show that started across the pond in England, and so we watched some episodes, and it was kind of like watching an old telethon with a bunch of celebrities sitting there taking calls, joking with each other, and it was so cool. And we were confused. We were like, how are they going to do this in COVID times? So they sent us this suitcase that looked like a bomb and had us set up this whole thing up in our house. It was so fun and so cool. And I actually think that the format worked amazingly well. Don't you think, honey?
Well, I thought was so interesting about it. So someone calls in, right? And then if there's a question that's appropriate for that individual celebrity, whoever it is, they give them that question. And then the other celebrities can hear, they can make comments. And if they have a particular comment, they wave their hand, and then we call out to them, and then they weigh in. So I was amazed how varied the advice was, how some of us agreed with other celebrities and didn't agree with some others, and how funny it was.
Yeah, they also did a really good job, I think, with creating, at least the panel that we're on the premiere episode, and it's really like different ages, different races, different sexes, different everything. So it was a really fun, diverse, eclectic group. What was fun for me and Terry was that we were together. So unlike our cohorts there, we could talk to each other, and we had so much fun. The only thing we should have done, honey, we should have had a cocktail during that.
Didn't we?
No, maybe towards the end.
Following up on what you said, Heather, I did, like, when COVID has locked all production down, I'm wondering, along with everybody else, what the hell are we going to do for TV? And I was skeptical about this format, but like you, the minute I seen it, I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect COVID show. It works exactly. It's almost improved by lockdown, I would argue.
You know, I would say so. And I think that because our new normal is the Zoom and the FaceTime and the everything, it doesn't feel like there's a filter between you. You actually feel, because I even felt like when we were sitting there talking with Akbar and Kelly and Lori, I felt we could have been in the same room.
Right. And it's a rotating list of celebrities. Am I right, Terry? This is how it works. There's going to be 4 different sets of celebrities giving advice every episode.
Completely different celebrities, all known for one particular point of view. It's going to be really fun. I think you're going to get both sides of the coin. You're going to get some really interesting advice, and you're going to get a lot of very amusing comments. So I thought we had the best time. I think it's going to be really entertaining and fun. And I thought I was particularly good.
I think you have a hit on your hands. I don't doubt it. And it's funny you should say that, Terry. And I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you guys. As much as I want to see the rotating celebrity factor, I also thought these two should be permanent in the top left corner. I think it should be rotated the other 3 around, because you guys are really, really funny on the episode, I have to say.
I appreciate you saying that. But what I would say is it could be like that old TV game show. What was that one where we were in the center square?
Hollywood Squares, honey. Hollywood Squares.
All right. We could be in the center box or something.
And you're dynamic with the rest of them as well. I noticed, Heather, you like to take charge, and Terry, you like to take the piss. And it absolutely works in an advice format. I wanted to call in and get some advice as well. Tell me a little bit about the questions you received. Now, don't spill too much on the premiere episode, but there was some pretty out there questions.
There were out there questions. And you know what's funny? So Terry and I, as you're saying, we have very different styles. And obviously with what he does, he can be very serious. And he's also very funny. And I have my expertise where I'm serious and also could be funny. So it was kind of fun to rip off each other, as we tend to do. But some of the questions were very surprising to get. I like to not know questions beforehand. I like to sort of like go up, fly by the seat of my pants. Terry likes to hear everything in advance. He wants to think about things. Wouldn't you say that's true, honey?
I would. I think, obviously with Heather and I, because we have a long-term, quite successful relationship, we're going to get questions that have to do generally with relationships and making, people get along with each other, and maybe stuff about kids and stuff about managing multiple parts of an active life, whether it's your career, your family, and social relationships. So those are the kind of questions I think you would ask Heather and I.
Right. And did any of the questions shock you? Did any even catch you off guard, or is this stuff you've all heard before?
No. For me, there were a lot of questions that were out of left field where I kind of went, boy, I wish I knew this one in advance so I would have a smart answer.
Speaking of families and giving advice, actually, I seen your daughter recently came out as bisexual on social media, and of course you embraced it with pride, as you should. What advice would you give to a young person of that age who may be worried that they don't have as cool parents as Max, let's say?
Yeah, Max and I have had an open dialogue for a long time, and I've gotten a lot of messages from people about that very thing. I think it's hard as a kid, figuring out your place and figuring out who you are. And I think, first of all, as parents, the more open conversations you can have with your children, the better. But as a young person, I think finding that mentor, that adult person in their life that they can be open and honest with. And if it's not a parent, maybe it's an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or a counselor at school or a favorite teacher or a sports coach, just someone that they can really open up to and get that kind of mentoring and help that they need to be able to move through their lives well.
Right.
Yeah. And for me, my advice is, if you don't have true, well-founded support in your immediate circle, find the support elsewhere. But at the end of the day, live your truth. Don't hide your truth. You get one life, and life is not as long as you think it is. And if you're not happy, then you should start really working to get happy. So you deserve to be a happy person. And if you're not living your truth, then I don't think you're living as happily as you could be.
Yeah.
Great
and
advice.
I think in this day and age, especially this year, if we haven't learned anything, we should learn that life is precarious and it's just important to be happy. And whatever that is for you, you need to find it, embrace it, and love it.
Great advice. And Terry, can I ask you as well, on the opposite end, what advice would you offer to a parent who perhaps suspects, or in most parents' cases would know that their child wants to come out or wants to tell them about it, but the parent hasn't had that conversation yet? What advice would you offer to the parents?
First of all, your child who hasn't come out, they want to.
Right.
For some reason, they don't feel comfortable. So you have to look to yourself. Are you creating an environment in which they could get comfortable coming out so they can live the life they're supposed to live? So do a lot more listening than talking. Do very little judging to no judging, okay? And imagine that they're struggling. They have an issue that's preventing them from being happy, that's probably giving them a lot of anxiety. And if your goal as a parent, as it should be, is for you to have happy, well-grounded, stable children, then what could you or should you have done in retrospect? And it's not retrospect because you're living this now, but if you knew that they felt that way, you already know this, what can you do to make them comfortable so that they feel like, okay, this is an environment in which I can come out safely, comfortably, and not be judged? So don't judge, close your mouth and open your ears.
Yeah,
Wise words.
As parents, we feel our job is to create healthy, happy, functioning, independent humans. And whatever it is in that category, that's our job. I always feel like I don't want to be the cool parent. I just want to be the parent that's there for them, that's got the ears that are open, that's not judgmental, that listens and loves and supports.
And what's weird is, even though I do support, I listen and love, I happen to be the cool parent as well.
Just so you know, he's not. He tells terrible dad jokes. Terrible.
Hey, I like the anniversary joke during the first episode. I know your wife was putting you on blast, Harry, but I thought it was very funny. Being a dad, I obviously laughed along with it. I have to say, if this example of this advice doesn't convince people to tune in, I don't know what will. the advice is actually quite heartfelt, but it's really, really funny as well. Tell us, where and when can we see it?
Okay, so Celebrity Call Center actually premieres this Monday night at 10 p.m. on E!
Can't wait, guys. Absolutely pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you so much for talking to me
By
today.
the way, there's a show right before it called Botch. There's a Botch special that's amazing, so you might want to tune in for that as well.
Never heard of it.
Shameless plug.
Great talking to you guys. Thank you so much.